Maybe you and someone were building a great friendship that felt like it was leading towards dating, but then all of a sudden this person starts dating someone else. Or maybe you and this person actually did start dating and things were going really well for the first 6 months, but then all of a sudden you guys started fighting about silly things and eventually just broke up. Why would God allow a great relationship to get ruined? Here are 4 possible explanations. And if you haven't heard, I also started a second channel called AGW for Men. So if you're a man who wants to study the Word of God with me, specifically about relationships, your calling, and other important topics, then I'd love for you to subscribe to this new channel, and you can find details about it in the description below. Number 1, your understanding of what a great relationship actually is skewed right now because you haven't yet met the one. Have you ever been reading in a dimly lit room and it's going okay, you don't really notice that it's that dark, but then someone turns some more lights on all of a sudden and you can see a lot better, and then it dawns on you how poorly you were seeing when it was dimly lit. That's often what happens in relationships. Sometimes it feels like a previous relationship was a great relationship because you've never actually been in a great relationship and you don't have an accurate way to gauge these relationships. When you meet the right person, it's almost like the lights get turned on and you realize how unsatisfied you were in previous relationships. God knows what a healthy relationship is and what is required for you to experience happiness in dating and marriage, because He's the one who has designed the male and female heart and how they connect together. So even if you feel like that relationship was great, He won't let you settle if He knows He has something much better for you. Number 2, God allows us to make bad choices with real consequences. I believe the Bible teaches that God has a sovereign plan that He causes to occur. And I also believe that the Bible teaches that man really does have a free will where he's not micromanaged by God, and his good and bad choices reap both good and bad consequences. How do these things work together? How is God fully sovereign and man free to make real choices? I don't fully know. All I do know is that God does bring about His sovereign will through the free choices of humans. Therefore, when it comes to this question about why did God allow a great relationship to get ruined, we can say 2 things at the same time. 1, it was not God's plan for this relationship to work out. And 2, the choices that these 2 people made caused this relationship not to work out. Both of these statements are biblically true and accurate to our real life experiences. So really, the bottom line for these 2 truths and how we apply them to our life is that all we can do is focus on what God has given us authority over to participate in. So we have to really follow the Lord's leading, make wise choices, and do our best to apply His word to our life, and then allow God to accomplish whatever He's going to accomplish. Number 3, the issue that ended up separating you two was there the whole time, but it was just a ticking time bomb waiting to go off. Sometimes it feels like a relationship got ruined out of nowhere. So maybe a little phrase just set this person off and now you guys aren't together. Or some outside circumstance like a job change or a family intervened somehow, and then all of a sudden things started to crumble around you. And so it feels like this one little thing just caused everything to fall apart. So many times there was a hidden issue that just got exposed later on that was triggered by this one thing that you feel like ruined the relationship. This is why it's really important to be patient, not awaken love until it so desires. You have to go through some things together to see what might get exposed, because it might feel like, wow, there's no issues, or wow, we're super compatible, but that might just be because you haven't run into those situations that will draw out those issues that have been there the whole time, but they've just been hidden. So you really want to be patient and go through a healthy season of dating, before jumping to that next phase. And number 4, you could be a great dating couple, but God knows that you would not make a great married couple. Dating is not condemned in the scriptures, but it's also not condoned. So marriage is God's design for long-term romance. And so dating is really only biblical or unbiblical or useful or not useful when it's used to accomplish a biblical goal of trying to figure out whether you should or should not marry this person. You want to be happy in marriage one day. And if God's called you to marriage, He wants that for you too. Therefore, if He knows you're just going to be happy in dating because the dynamics that you guys possess will only qualify you to be happy in dating rather than in marriage, God's not going to let you settle for something that He knows is not best for you. In Matthew 7, verses 9 through 11, Jesus said, "Or which one of you, if his son asks him for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask Him?" Sometimes we ask for bread, but then we want a stone. Sometimes we ask for fish, but then choose a serpent. God is our good Father. Even if we want to give ourselves less than God's best, God will not let us settle. If you asked for a great husband or wife, but you are choosing a good boyfriend or girlfriend, God will let that relationship fade away so He can give you what you truly asked for one day. And don't forget to subscribe to my new channel called AGW for Men. I'm Mark from ApplyGodsWord.com. Until next time, God bless.